Hello and welcome back to Phantasms. So, for this portion of the tournament arc, there's going to be a lot of asynchronous matches going on, and this is going to be a recording of match 2, which is Dash versus Ash. I'm going to be conducting this just purely in the theater of the mind because I don't think it'll be terribly interesting to have like a visual format here. It's just there's only two people and it's just a box on the map. So let's get into it. It is a cool summer afternoon in the forest outside Tierlock, and things have cooled down recently. The past couple of days have been unusually warm. There's been a heat wave that has dissipated, and people are rather enjoying themselves now that it's a much more pleasant climate to be out and about doing things. There's a buzz of activity in a clearing in this forest where the party, as well as just a whole bunch of other people, have gathered because there is a tournament being hosted by a group of druids, particularly a collection of druidic circles that has come to be known as the Sphere. So, yeah, let's do this. So, yeah, as I said, there's not going to be a lot of visual stuff here. I think I'm just going to have there be a blank screen on the video when I post this. So, just close your eyes. You probably need the rest anyways because we use our eyeballs way too much. And I am just going to fight myself now. So, let me give a description of our contestants here. On the left side, blue side, is Dash. Dash is a human man. He's got light brown hair. He's kind of tall and lanky. He's wearing simple clothes and he's kind of just got an easygoing smile on his face. And he just generally seems confident. Very confident, in fact, going into this match. On the right side, red side, is Ash. She is an elven woman. She's got short hair, kind of tan skin, and she seems kind of distant. She's kind of staring off into the distance while the match is being set up. And the crowd is... It seems like they are supporting Ash more. I mean, she has more of a... every contestant has a class associated with them. Dash, he is a rogue, and Ash, she is a druid. So the crowd is kind of leaning more towards supporting Ash, although the crowd is it's a mixed crowd. There's a good number of the druids that are just here because of their big meeting tomorrow and they just happen to be in the area. But there's also a lot of passerby, people from town or just travelers that have heard about oh, there's this big event happening. So, I'm now just gonna go through the preliminary just setup phase here. So, in Phase A of show combat, or this tournament, they have to select their items and then put those onto tickets. So, there's actually not that much interesting going on here because it seems like Dash and Ash have come to some sort of agreement just off the field, and Dash especially seems to have gotten a very... favorable outcome out of it. And for his 5 tickets, he will put 1, his crossbow, number 2, his poison. He's got a bunch of vials of poison. 3, a bunch of studded leather armor, and 4, pocket sand. And you'll notice that you're able to put multiple items. You're able to put an item on multiple tickets to just protect it even more. So he has crossbow, poison, that's the second one, studded leather armor, and pocket sand. Those are his 5 items. Ash, she has staff. Her second item are flasks of oil. Her third are flasks of alchemist's fire. And she has doubled up on both of the types of flasks. So number 1, staff. 2, oil flask. 3 oil flask, 4 alchemist fire, 5 alchemist fire. Those are her 5 tickets. And in phase B of just like setting up the match, they will get the opportunity to secretly just do something with their tickets. And I've already chosen what they're gonna do, so I'm gonna skip past that and just reveal it at the end of phase B. So it seems like they've just both agreed to not mess with each other. So Dash, his choices were to protect his crossbow and bolts, and then he's also going to be taking in his poison, his studded leather armor, and pocket sand. For Ash, kind of like same deal here. Nobody has actually taken offensive action during the ticketing phase. So Ash will be taking in all of her items. She's protected her staff and then just done nothing with her other tickets. So she's got oil flasks and alchemist fire flasks. And this marks the end of phase B. We'll now get into phase C. So they're now going to enter the ring with their cleared items. They've all just got their full loadout here, which makes things funny for me to run. And we'll now roll for initiative. So a quick explainer here. We're doing show combat, which once again, this is not regular combat. So they're going to take 2 consecutive turns, and their initiative is actually incredibly important here. Looking at you, player characters, there are various ways to buff your initiative roll, which I highly suggest doing, because your first round opening gambit is going to determine the outcome of the match. Like, if I'm being honest here, round 1 is the singular most important part of the match. There's a lot of setup and things that you are able to just like advantages you're able to gain from being first here. So at the top of the order is Dash. He got an initiative of 12 while Ash got 11. So let's do this. At the top of round 1 is Dash, and his opening gambit is actually just to run right up. So it looks like he has a pretty set strategy in mind. So from what you're able to tell about him, he's a very, very efficient man, and he is just going straight for the win here. He's not really trying to do anything to appeal to the crowd. So what he's going to do is he will just promptly run up using 20 feet of his movement. He is going to try to grapple Ash, and he does not actually have any bonus to grappling, so I'm going to roll that contest here. With a natural 20, Dash has successfully grappled her, and he's just going to continue moving back, dragging her back towards his end zone, towards the left. And as part of doing this, as an opening gambit, this is an interesting move. So he's going to just freely try to appeal to the crowd. I am going to make him do just a general strength check versus his DC, which starts out at 15. And he has succeeded. So versus a DC 15, he got an 18, and therefore he has chosen to increase his crowd hype score by 1. So that was his action and his movement, but as a bonus action, he is going to just skedaddle because he has cunning action from the rogue stat block. So he's going to dash and move another 15 feet because of dragging another person during a grapple. Thus ends his first turn in show combat. But since he takes another consecutive one, he's going to use his action to dash. And yeah, I mean, homie's just, he's moving another 15 feet, dragging Ash further towards his end zone. And once again, as a bonus action, he is going to dash again. And he's now at the very edge of his end zone. He is about to win if he is able to move Ash just 2 squares further over. But thus ends his turn. He has used up all of his movement, all of his actions, and it is now Ash's turn. So she is primarily a spellcaster, and being just up in someone's business is bad business. So just in an effort to not get immediately eliminated, she's going to use her action to try and break out of the grapple. So this is going to be a strength contest as an action, and she fails, an 8 versus Dash's 19. So her first action disappears, and I mean, she's not having a great time with all of this, so she will try to knock him off with a Thunderwave. And she's going to spend a spell slot to try and cast Thunderwave on Ash. He will do a Constitution saving throw, failing by 1. Her DC is 13, he got a 12. So, therefore... Okay, he takes 11 thunder damage and is pushed back. I guess he's pushed into his end zone. That's unfortunate. And she's going to use her movement to just scuttle on back 30 feet. And so her first action was to fail at breaking out of the grapple. Her second action was to Thunderwave and leave. And here we end round 1. The crowd is, I mean, they're excited that Ash has avoided a round 1 elimination. Maybe a little disappointed, but she's just gonna do a bit more of a showy spellcasting modifier check. So I'm gonna have her do a wisdom check to appeal to the crowd. She fails with a 12 versus a DC 15. So that is her turn. At the top of round 2, Dash is currently hanging out inside his end zone, and it's not, I mean, there's no penalty to like hanging out inside your end zone, but the crowd, I mean, they're not like turtling inside your end zone. Not great, not a great look. Turtling right outside your end zone might be cool, but first thing he's gonna do is just leave. He's gonna walk out of there 30 feet, and he's gonna try the same maneuver again. So as his first action, he walks out 30 feet. As his second action, he is going, or has his bonus action, cunning action, he's going to dash and make it right next to Ash. As another set of grapple checks during his second turn here. Grapple, he fails by a pretty large margin, actually. So thus ends his turn, and he is going to disengage, bonus action, and move on over to the top left corner here. So battlefield report, Dash and Ash are both on the left side of the map. They're both on the left half of it. Dash is very close to his end zone. He's just hanging out there in a defensive position. Ash is very close to the center. Weighing her options here, Ash doesn't really want to commit too many more resources to this fight here, so she's just gonna run up and try to grapple this dude. This is just how NPC fights are gonna go. So here is a grapple check. She fails. As an action, she's gonna try a second one and succeeds. Okay, she's gonna move the both of them 15 feet towards her end zone on the right, and that is the end of her turn. So she'll do a another strength check against her crowd hype, fails spectacularly, and thus ends round 2. At the top of round 3 goes Dash. He's currently being grappled, and it's time for some silly business because Dash will now try to... Man. Yeah, he's going to try to break the grapple. So here's another strength contest. Fails. As his second action, he'll do another one. Fails. Alright, they're just locked in a grapple here. You'll notice that they are not really doing a lot of damage to each other. It seems that per some off-the-field agreement, they're just hanging out. But after a lot of wrestling about and grappling each other, currently Ash is in control here, although they are on the left side of the map, so the advantage is to Dash. But after his actions to fail to break out of the grapple, thus ends his turn. We go to Ash, still maintaining the grapple. She's just going to dash. Yeah, she's going to use her action to move and go 30 feet, bringing us to the right half of the map. And as her second action, she's doing it again. So they're now at the very edge of the right side end zone, and Dash is 5 feet away from losing the match. Top of round 4, Dash, he's seeing this, he's not enjoying it. So it's time to attempt a grapple breaker. Boom, boom, athletics contest, he fails. Unfortunate. All right, second action. He's going to try to do it again. He fails. Oh my. All right. And this might be the end here, but seeing as she has the advantage here on her action, Ash is just going to try to do some showy moves because, I mean, you could just knock someone out here, but there's perhaps some wasted value here. She's going to try to appeal to the crowd as a full action here. So she just kind of like releases one hand and just like dangles him by his collar. And from behind her mask, you can kind of like see a smile as she's maybe gloating a little bit. And she's going to try to do a performance check with a +0. And due to taking a full action, she passes at advantage, increasing her hype score by 1. And she's just going to try to shove this dude over. So as an action on her next turn, she's just try to push him into the end zone. So there's a little bit of strange mechanics here where, so technically you're not allowed to walk into your own end zone. Like you can just grapple someone in, but okay, I should rephrase that. You are allowed to enter your own end zone. It's a bad look. You can do it though. Walking, like grappling an opponent into your own end zone is legal and it will give you a win. But if you instead choose to shove someone in, just like kick them in the butt, just send them stumbling over, you'd also get a free attempt to crowd hype check. So Ash is going to try that as her second action. She's going to do a shove aside action, which unfortunately gives her disadvantage on her strength check. Ash will contest and fails, or succeeds by a wide margin. So Dash has avoided getting just obliterated. I mean, Ash will still get a free attempt to appeal to the crowd with another charisma is on cooldown for now. She'll just do a strength one, and at the same bonus, she fails. All right, top of round 5, Dash hanging out at the very edge of losing the match here. He's going to try to break out of the grapple again. So I realize now that breaking out of a grapple, you're also allowed to use acrobatics, so he's going to do that now. As his first action, he's going to try to break out of the grapple with a contest. Oh yeah, he succeeds. He is now out of the grapple, and he's kind of tired of this shit. He is going to use his next action to just repeat the grapple chain. Succeeds. Action, dash, and they're now not immediately at the edge of the end zone here. Ash, also not having any of this. She was so close to the win here. She's going to try to break the grapple again. Succeeds. And she'll try to grapple him back. Second action. Boom. Boom. Fails. All right. We're at the top of round 6 here. Only 11 total points of damage have been done from that opening Thunderwave from Ash. And they're currently hanging out at the right side of the map. There are no grapples in effect here due to everybody just continually breaking out of them. Dash is going to try to just drag Ash back over. Here's another set of grapples. This is never going to end. He fails. Grapple, fail. As an action, he's going to try to do a second one. With a nat 20, he is now grappling. He's going to dash over and move 30 feet. Oh my god. Ash is not having any of this. Now this is just unfortunate. She'll try to break out. Fails. Second action. Tries to break out again. Fails. All right, well, I think we have a winner here. So Dash is going to action move 15, bonus action dash another 15. That's his first action. As his second turn, he's just going for the winner here. He moves into his own end zone, thus ending combat. So we have a winner here. Dash, with a series of just a lot of walking back and forth with grapple checks, Dash has moved his opponent into his end zone at the very left, thus succeeding and catching a win here, sending Ash to the loser's bracket, and Dash has won round 2. So he will advance to the next match. The crowd is, they're not terribly stoked by the result. It looks like some of the people had bet money on Ash. It looks like she's a crowd favorite. And you see like a couple of people in the crowd speculating, a couple of the like returning audience members. They're pointing towards the rest of the party members and just like kind of laughing. And well, Dash seems to be a newcomer around here. It looks like he does not have a reputation particularly within this tournament here, but we'll explore that more later here. So thus ends Phase C of Show Combat, and this marks the end of this match.